Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sisters of the Strange. I'm Landrey.
And I'm Shae.
Anything exciting?
Actually, yes.
Ooh.
It's just like a little small thing, and I'm going to get more details on it. But when I was at work the other night, one of my coworkers was like, hey, you need to talk to Bree because she has a hometown murder story. And I was like, what? Like, she knows about my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
And I guess like she's just like super ADHD, bless her heart, love her. Bree, love you. But they were like, yeah, you need to talk to Bree because she just told me this crazy story. And I was like, what? So it was like a busy night, but we like had a moment. So we were like sitting. And so we're like sitting together and we're like talking about work stuff, whatever. And then she goes, oh my God, I was told that I needed to tell you the story. And I was like, yeah, tell me the story. So basically she like grew up in this town where a bunch of girls got murdered.
Oh.
And they like never found their bodies, and they were developing this land for like a subdivision. And when they were like tilling the land and doing all this like leveling and stuff, they started finding these bodies. And she said there was a name for them, and I don't remember where it was, but I told her, I was like, I need you to like email this to me or text it to me, like send me like the story so that I can read it on the podcast.
Oh my God.
And she was like, oh my God, I will.
Oh my God.
She was like, and I knew these girls, like I went to school with them. I was like, oh my God, like why have we never talked about this before?
Holy cow.
Yeah, so she's got a really good hometown murder story that she's going to send for us to read.
That does remind me while we're talking about very unfortunate, but girls passing away.
Oh.
We need to address the floods that happened.
Oh, yeah. Texas floods. I mean, that's our people.
That's our lands. That's our people. That's actually where like my grandmother, Nana, is about to move.
Oh.
Her house is sold. She has to be out by like August 14th or something.
Well, I'm glad that it wasn't now.
Yeah, they were not already there. Because if other circumstances in this world had not happened, they probably would have already been in Kerrville, her and Aunt Karen.
Yeah.
So I do just want to put out like prayers of love and good vibes. And I pray that y'all all have comfort
and peace
and the resources you need to feel comfortable and peaceful. And
yeah, it's really sad. It's really unfortunate. I mean, I could not imagine. I actually know somebody I know somebody personally who's been personally affected by this, and it's actually really terrible, and it's so sad. I just kind of have like blocked it out of my mind because it's all I see on social media and everything, and so I'm just kind of trying to like separate from it, not because I don't care about it, but because it's just so heavy, and I can't imagine
it makes having a child sound terrifying.
Yeah.
Just the thought of what all can go wrong, like you have a baby and you're so excited you have a baby.
Yeah.
You know, and you're so excited to have this child and raise them and love them and put everything into them to see them do these great things in life. And then something like that happens and it's
taken away. Yeah.
I shared a few things just like throughout our Instagram, just as it's going on, because this episode won't come out for a little while, but I do want to address it and just.
I know things like this always make me wish we had a bigger platform so that we could
help more.
Yeah.
I know that like our brother-in-law has gone out. He's been helping with search and rescue because they're not too far from there. So he's
been doing like incident command basically.
Yeah. He's trained in like, I think it's called like rushing water.
Swift water rescue.
Something. Yeah. He's trained in that.
He's his first responder.
Yeah. He's trained in a lot of really cool things. And they did ask him to team that. And he was like, I don't want to be in charge of all these other people who aren't trained. So let's do it another way that we can help.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that he's been able to go help and things like that. I do wish we had a bigger platform too, so we could donate money or thoughts, prayers, all the good vibes is just good anyway. So if you're listening and you feel the need, send some good prayers and vibes and love that direction.
Yes, we're thinking about all of you.
Yeah.
Hope nobody was affected by this.
Yeah.
You know, like listeners and stuff.
No, that's kind of what made me think of how you just said that with the girls. I'm like, oh my goodness, what if
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, so we forgot. I knew that I had it somewhere to cover it, and then I changed my stories constantly before I record, so never quite got there, but
it happens.
Yeah, we do want to send you some love and light, but I am excited to hear about her story from where she's from.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting.
I know, all the details. I was like, I need you to send me like details and stuff. I was like, at least like send me like names and stuff, so if you don't want to send out a full email, I can look it up.
Yeah, give me something.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Switching gears back to spooky town. Well, it's not spooky. It's a murder. I'm doing a murder. Surprise.
Shocker.
Shocker. And this guy, I've heard his story like vaguely, And so whenever I was looking for something to do this week, I was just looking for something like new and interesting. It's another crazy one, but it's a kind of a big one. I feel like a lot of people probably know about him more than I think that they do, but he is crazy.
Great. I love crazy.
Yeah.
I am also crazy.
We ready to get into it? We'll get into it. We'll just go.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So this guy's name is Isreal Keys. And I don't know if it's pronounced Keys or Kais or Keys. I couldn't find the pronunciation of this name, but it's Keyes. So it seems like it would just be Keys.
Maybe. But
so we're just going to go with it.
K is like Ray is.
Yeah.
So I don't know either.
Yeah. So Isreal Keys. He was so messed up, but
Sick.
also extremely organized. Extremely organized. And it's just so eerie. The FBI describes him as a pure force of evil.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
They see way too much bad stuff to be labeling someone like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's horrible. So anyway, this guy did everything. He dabbled in all of it. Okay. We're just going to start with his childhood. We'll go through the story and it'll build. So Isreal Keys was born in Richmond, Utah in 1978. He was the second of 10 children. His mother, Heidi Keys, and his father, John Jeffrey Jeff Keys.
Good Lord.
They were members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Makes sense. 10 kids.
Lived in Utah. And his father had served as a missionary at a church in Germany. So he and his siblings were homeschooled.
That tracks.
Until 1983. And after leaving the Latter-day Saints church, his father moved them to a ranch, basically like a big plot of land in Colville, Washington in Stevens County when he was 5 years old.
Huh.
So they were young when they left the church.
You know what's weird to me? A lot of these Latter-day Saints people are ranchers.
They just
I would not have
live
assumed
on the land.
that, but I have a personal run-in.
Yeah.
With someone who was raised in that, and they're
in
like
the
a
Jeff's
huge
family, right?
Yeah, he's like Warren Jeff's nephew. I was like, I just met a famous person.
You don't know that, but
at the bar. You don't know that I know, but he was telling me his life story, and I was like, oh my God, I know who you are. I watched the Netflix documentary on this, and I didn't say that to him. I just let him live his life. But huge rancher, and then naturally, as I am, I was very interested in that because I'd watched the Eat, Sweet, Pray, Keep Prayed, or whatever. I'd watched that. And so I was naturally already in that land. And so I started looking further at his siblings and being creepy and double checking my work, thinking of who he was.
Yeah.
And they all are rodeos, ranchers, horse people. And I was like, I would not have assumed that out of any of the raised in Utah, doing all of that does not register with me as that. But it seems like they're all horse people. I
don't know if I'm sure a majority of them are just used to it because
I feel like they're very resourceful, and that's the way of life.
Yeah,
when you're being resourceful of growing your own things and doing all your own things.
You're just used to that. Yeah,
just strange to me.
Part of it.
Never would have pictured those two together. So it's crazy that you said that they also moved to a ranch.
Yes. Okay. So they moved to this big plot of land in Washington when he was 5. So they had left the church when he was young, but basically they were isolated from society, isolated from everybody, and they lived in a 1-room cabin without electricity or running water.
So 12 people.
So they were very much Amish lifestyle.
Yeah, of the earth.
They still attended church at a place called the Ark, which was basically based off of white supremacy, Christian identity ideology.
Okay.
So you're okay.
Sounds like a interesting way.
Seems safe. Seems like a good place. Seems like a good church to raise your children in.
Yeah.
If you ask me. So he later was the one who said like the lifestyle that they lived was very close to like Amish.
Yeah.
Avoiding very many conveniences of modern life, like phones and technology and all the things. During the time that they attended the Ark, the Keyes family befriended the neighboring family of Kehoe, which was a big like murder thing in 1996. This family was convicted of a triple homicide in 1996.
And they were friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They like lived close by and they were friends with them. So that's like a whole nother story, but yeah. Closely related to this. So when they eventually left the Ark for another Colville congregation, the Christian Isreal Covenant Church, which also taught white supremacy, British Israelist doctrine.
What?
So they're like there's just like a lot going on in this.
Very strange, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like serious, what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
I don't know what path you're taking because I'm like white supremacy and
I'm just thinking like
Israeli, whatever does not mix with my brain.
Like harsh religion. Does that make sense?
Like strict?
Strict, yes.
Okay.
Like strict, but like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Okay. So he says later on, he's like, this church that we moved to, we moved from Latter-day Saints to white supremacy to another white supremacy Israeli militia-like church.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And for years, some of the kids were forced to sleep in a tent because this 1-bedroom cabin that they lived in was just too small for all of them. So they slept in a tent outside and they hunted for their own food. They cut up their own firewood and they worked on farms, their farm and local farms to support the family. So it was a very harsh childhood for this guy. He said that his parents were extreme survivalists, which is why they made their children that way. His childhood was full of guns, self-reliance, and no real structure except for
church,
the Bible, and isolation. And
that's horrendous.
And then they were also neighbors with the Kehoe family. So he was just in this super harsh environment that,
Kehoe, your favorite teacher?
Don't go there. Don't get me started on that. So basically by the time he was a teenager, he had completely rejected religion and was like, nah, I'm good. I'm out.
As most people who are raised, like any sort of people who are like pushed to go to church every Wednesday, every Sunday, they pretty much all fall out for a good while.
Right.
Like I'm not doing
just
that
because
anymore.
When you're forced into something like that, it's like, let me breathe.
Yeah, it ruins just your fun.
But his version of being his own person and being free, he came up with this hobby of hunting, which fair enough. You lived on the land. You had to kill your own food. But he was killing anything and everything that he could and would. And at one point, he freely admitted to skinning a deer alive in front of his peers at the Christian Isreal Covenant Church. And he was ostracized by other children for this because that's wrong.
Weird.
We don't skin things alive.
How do you even do that?
Don't know. I just ate my microphone. I don't know. Ha!
Crazy. Okay. Interesting. Let's hear it.
And one girl said that his presence alone just made her skin crawl. Now, mind you, as a kid, teenager, 14 years old, he was 6'2". So he was an uncomfy specimen.
Yeah.
At 14 years old to be 6'2", I don't think I've ever met a 14-year-old that's 6'2".
I'm thinking about Landon. Landon's only like 5'9".
Okay, 6'2".
He's 15, yeah. But still.
Skinny, lanky, just ugh. So, anyway.
It's the eyes. It's always the eyes.
What is that saying? The eyes don't lie?
Yeah.
Chico, the eyes don't lie.
The eyes freak me out, man. It's like the number one tell of a person.
Amen. Real eyes, real eyes, real lies.
That right there.
That's the one.
You got it.
So, like I said, as a 14-year-old, he was 6'2". At this time, at this age, 14 years old, he was shooting at his neighbors' houses with his BB guns. He was starting fires in the woods. He broke into houses. He was robbing people. The other kids started avoiding him after like watching him kill animals and skin them alive and then kill them, things like that. He was just weird. They're like, this guy's scary. I don't want to hang out with him. But they were, in this community, so I'm sure they were just always around one another. On another occasion, he stole several guns from a neighbor's residence, and his parents found them, and he was forced to apologize to them. So there was like a thing where he was caught and, whatever. And he would also sell some of these stolen guns to local adults. So I don't know what adult is buying guns from a 14-year-old. Again, interesting community.
Mm-hmm.
Around the same time that he was a teenager, 14, 15 years old, his parents were letting some of their friends like stay with them. I guess as they do in their 1-bedroom cabin and tent. And in the presence of the friend's son and daughter and Key's little sister, he tied a cat to a tree with a parachute cord and then gored it with a .22 revolver. And the cat was still alive. Sorry, this is horrible. Trigger warning. Cat was still alive, began like running around the tree, obviously in distress. He was laughing. And then as he's laughing at the cat, the kid, the little boy of the friend is like throwing up, freaking out. And he's like, haha, you're a little bitch, And he just at this time, he says like, oh, that was a moment that I will always remember because it made me realize that I was different than everybody else. And he adapted this like seriously like antisocial behavior. So once he realized finally as a teenager that his behavior wasn't normal, he became very antisocial.
Oh, well, I would appreciate that.
Which I'm sure his friends also friends, I say loosely, probably also appreciated. His mom said during this period, she began to notice some troubling signs when he began tuning into various radio stations and different things. So he was starting to listen to like satanic worship type stuff. He was already like completely rejecting this whole religion that his family had forced upon him. And he was just growing into this scary guy. And his mom was like, yeah, maybe he had some weird behavior. Whatever.
Maybe.
By his late teenage years, he had become a skilled carpenter. He built his first wooden cabin for his family at 16. And he worked for a contractor in Colville, Washington from 1995 to 1997. Around this time, he kept a journal, including some biblical quotes, and then also documenting his daily sins for which he felt ashamed of. So he was documenting all these things. And one of those things being like lusting after his girlfriend. He's like, oh, that's a sin to lust, so I'm going to shame myself for this. Later on, the family relocated to Maine, where they made their money mostly collecting sap for maple syrup production in an Amish community. And due to their mother's religious zealousness, the Keys children were forced to hide from their parents to watch movies with friends, and they were forbidden to learn musical instruments. And this is the time when he officially renounced his Christianity. Like he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm 16. I'm out. I am done.
Yeah.
Like, we're done with this. He told his parents that he was an atheist. And he said that before then, he like was always trying to like make constant efforts to please them, to like be good in their eyes. Like he was trying to like make his family love him or like, accept him, I guess.
Yeah.
And when he realized, I'm sure that wasn't working, he was like, yeah, no, I'm good. They kicked him out of the house and instructed his younger siblings, who apparently looked up to him, to never speak to him again. And this is when he got really heavy into Satanism and said that at this time he had planned to commit a real ritualistic murder.
Hell yeah.
So he starts planning.
Right. At 16.
This man planned out things just incredibly insane. Absolutely insane planning. So he joined the military in 1998.
Okay.
He was U.S. Army, like infantry type guy. He was stationed in Egypt. People said that he was quiet, but he was respectful and totally normal. So to others when he was in the army, he was completely normal. But he was basically living this double life because he starts to get creepy and he starts to make these things called kill kits.
Oh, great.
Which were literally murder supply boxes that he buried around the country. So after his like serve in the military, he has planned out all this stuff. he makes these kill kits that have like, some of them have guns, some of them don't. They all have rope, tape, just like all kinds of shit that you would like lie, stuff that you would
use to kill
somebody. He makes these kits and he buries them around the country. Duct tape, zip ties, Drano, like trash bags, shovels. And he buried them like years in advance to all these murders.
Strange.
So he just buries them all around. He would fly to everywhere, places he had no connections to. Dig up a kit, pick a random person, and just kill him.
You can't track that guy.
Right.
Not like that.
Not like that. So while he was stationed in the Army, he was stationed at Fort Lewis and Fort Hood. Fort Hood is in Texas.
In Colleen or whatever?
Something like that, yeah.
I think I say that wrong. My mom gets on me. She's like, it's Colleen or something.
Colleen.
I said it wrong.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. While he was stationed in Egypt, one of his fellow soldiers, he told one of them that he would like to kill him. Like, just, whatever. In Fort Lewis, he served on the mortar team, and former Army friends of his noted that his quiet demeanor, he kept to himself. On the weekends, though, he would drink heavily, consuming entire bottles of wild turkey bourbon.
Sick.
What a choice.
That's insane, though.
But, like, also, that's kind of like what Army guys do, especially, like, when they're stationed abroad. They just
drink.
They just drink.
That's also what I do. I'm considering going home and getting a case of White Claws and just home alone drink White Claws.
Okay, red flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in 2001, he was arrested, I believe, for the first time in Thurston County for driving under the influence. He was fined $350 with a plea agreement. That was the first time he was arrested for driving drunk. Another strange fact about this man, I guess it's not really strange, but an interesting fact, especially with the way that he was raised. He was a big fan of Insane Clown Posse.
I want to see him riding a horse. I
thought that was funny. Chop, chop, chop.
I'm thinking of the other one.
What? I could recite it right now. Love that song. So
we had no business singing every word to that when we were in 5th grade. But.
Literally ever. Ever. Anyway, good song. So he was a big fan of them. I just thought that was funny. I had to throw that hilarious. In there. Before he was honorably discharged from the Army, he was awarded an achievement medal for his service as a gunner and assistant gunner from December of 1998 to July 2001. And then he was honorably discharged and relocated to Nia Bay, Washington.
Interesting.
When he was relocated to Washington, he lived on a reservation in the Olympic Peninsula of Washington State.
Okay.
Wow. He met a girlfriend there who was a Native American, and they had met online, though, even though they lived on the reservation. They met online. She got pregnant. They have a daughter. Okay. They broke up, but he still saw his daughter periodically.
So he was like an okay dad, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He had, in 2007, he started a construction business in Alaska called Keys Construction, and he worked as a handyman, contractor, and construction worker. And he was generally regarded as a skilled and trustworthy worker, but several female customers reported that he exhibited brief facial expressions or dark moods that made them very uncomfortable. So it was like he was able to, like, he was still creepy regardless of like what he was doing, but he was able to keep himself professional until I guess he wanted to kill somebody. And he's like, okay, well, gotta go. I have a murder kit in, I don't know, Vermont. Be back.
Work at 2, murder at 3.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know what? Just hearing you say that. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. Aaron tells me I interrupt you talking too much. He said, you interrupted her so much in the last episode. I'm like, sorry.
I don't even notice.
I don't either. Even when I'm editing, I don't. But it reminded me of just like you're talking to someone just like this. And then if all of a sudden I just.
Right.
And then just.
Because you had a thought, oh, I want to kill you.
Yeah, I want to kill you. And
mental
you get all
note,
dark and creepy.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Continue. Yeah.
So creepy. If someone ever did that around me, I'd be like, well, I'm going to shoot you now.
Super creep. Super creep.
Oh, gosh. Wow.
So, yeah. That's kind of his background.
Sounds interesting.
The interesting guy.
He's definitely got a mixing pot there.
Very much so. Like, he was able to keep it separate. I don't know. It's just weird.
Range.
We're going to get into his criminal history. Well, kind of where it starts to get crazy. So he starts targeting random people all across the United States, and he avoids being caught this way. And he would plan for months before he would commit a particular crime. But he mostly frequented campgrounds and isolated locations. He would just pick random people. It's like he wouldn't plan who he was going to kill, but he had a plan for whenever he found who he was going to kill.
Okay.
It's very much like Ted Bundy meets
Richard Ramirez.
But he's like a mixture of the two.
Yeah. Kind of sounds creepy as shit, but...
He said that he only used guns when he had to, but he preferred strangulation. And this was due to the pleasure he derived from witnessing victims lose consciousness in the struggle.
I want to know how that registers in anyone's brain as like...
Yeah, what happened to you?
As like yummy. Like
I like that.
Yeah.
Let me see you pass out. No, it's not normal. It's not okay. Anyway. He also claimed that he did not kill children or parents of children, primarily because of his daughter, whom he feared would find out of his crimes.
Okay, well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So,
it makes him a little less creepy.
Note to self, have a child.
However, police and FBI investigators were skeptical and suspected that he had killed several teenagers and children.
Oh, well, I don't know.
He admits that he did not murder anybody during his 3 years in the army. However, he did confess to attempting to rape a sex worker while he was on leave in Egypt, while he was stationed in Egypt, but on leave, as well as a college student that he met while he was in Israel on leave.
Okay.
He also confessed to committing bank robberies in New York and Texas. And the FBI later confirmed that Keyes robbed the Community Bank branch in Tupper Lake, New York in April 2009. And he also told authorities that he burglarized a Texas home and then set it on fire. And the FBI says that he burglarized 20 to 30 homes across the U.S. and robbed several banks between 2001 and 2012.
Why?
Why?
Why? I thought we like to murder people.
Right. That's why that's why I said he just kind of dabbled in everything. Arsony, robbery, murder, rape. We're just going to try it all.
I'll just throw that in there.
During interviews with several FBI agents, Keyes directly admitted to 3 murders whose identities we have confirmed. So his first one that he confessed to killing was a 49-year-old William Scott Currier and 55-year-old Lorraine Currier of Vermont. He broke into their home on June 8th, 2011, tied them up, drove them to an abandoned farmhouse where he shot William and then sexually assaulted and strangled Lorraine. So his husband and wife. Their bodies have never been found, but he confessed to this murder. 2 years prior to this murder, he hid the murder kit near their home. Isn't that crazy?
Why?
I just think it's nuts.
Another part of that.
How do you...
That's crazy. How do you... Yeah. And that's where I'm like, what's going through his mind? Is he like, I think I'm going to go after a girl today. Any girl that has a white shirt and red shoes on. I think that's what I'm going to go for. That's the one. I think that's who I'm going to pick today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is crazy to me. I also think it's crazy when couples get killed like that. Because Aaron would do everything he could to kill somebody, like murder somebody. Like, even if they had a gun, he's like, well, I'm going to die at some point. So I'm going to at least run at them now.
Yeah,
like, why suffer?
Yeah.
And I think the same way. I'm I would just run at you and shoot me so that
how do you let this man just tie you up?
Yeah. Even if you had a gun facing me, I know you're going to kill me at some point. So I'm running at you. Like, go ahead and just kill me. Don't torture me.
Yeah.
So that's what I never understand that. Well, I don't want to understand it. I don't want to be in a situation where I have to understand it.
I feel like a lot of people, though, just think because of like, TVs, movies and things, like if you just comply, like maybe you will be able to escape. Maybe they won't kill you right away and you can come up with a plan and you can get out of there. If you just like do what they say. Maybe that's part of like the fight or flight that sometimes people get stuck in. I don't know.
It's crazy. That's crazy. 2 years.
2 years prior, he hides a murder kit near their house, which then he later dug up and used during the crime. And then he would move the murder kits to a new hiding place.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. He would move them to a new spot. So the murder kit that he used for them, he took to Parrishville, New York, where they remained until after he was caught.
Okay.
His last confirmed victim was 18-year-old Samantha Koenig, She was a coffee shop employee in Anchorage, Alaska. He kidnapped her from work on February 1st, 2012, took her debit card and some of her other stuff, sexually assaulted her, and then killed her the next day. He left her body in a shed in his backyard, went to New Orleans, where he went on a pre-booked 2-week cruise with his family to Mexico, and then came back to Alaska, took her body from the shed, put makeup on her face, sewed her eyes open with fishing line, took a picture of a 4-day-old newspaper from the Anchorage Daily News next to her body, posed to appear that she was still alive as a ransom, and demanded $30,000, some of which was paid into her bank account, Samantha's bank account. And then he dismembered her body and disposed of it in Matanuska Lake in Anchorage.
Good Lord.
And her remains were found by the FBI's underwater search and rescue team after he was caught.
Yeah.
Later, which we'll get there. So there's some possible victims as well that have not been confirmed. But he was a suspect in, and it coincided with his whereabouts or matched his MO. However, he was not definitively linked to any of these crimes, but some of these victims' identities are also unknown.
Yeah.
One of them is a 12-year-old, Julie Harris. She was a Special Olympics medalist in skiing. She disappeared on March 2nd, 1996, while waiting for a ride to a local church in Colville, Washington, which is where he's from.
Mm-hmm.
Her remains were found on April 26th, 1997, in a wooded area a few miles away. The cause of death was not determined. However, she was a double amputee, and her prosthetic feet were found by the Colville River a month after her disappearance. At this time, Keyes was 18 years old, and he lived in the area and was questioned about her case after he was arrested, but neither confirmed nor denied killing her. He admitted to investigators that he had killed 5 people in Washington state, and he was the subject of an active investigation by the state police and the FBI. He claimed to have either buried or submerged somebody in a lake in Nia Bay, Washington between July and October of 2001. A body was found, but this death was ruled accidental. So whatever that means. He also confessed to the double homicide of a young couple, which occurred between 2001 and 2005. And according to Keyes, he beat the man to death and strangled the woman and then buried them both. Between 2005 and 2006, he said that he killed 2 other victims separately. One was apparently dumped in Lake Crescent in Washington, and he did not have a felony criminal record in Washington, although he had been stopped on 2 other occasions for minor driving offenses.
Mm-hmm.
So authorities reviewed an unsolved murder and missing persons to determine if any of them had been
like if it matched
any of these people that he says that he killed, but like there's no identities of these people.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, well, I killed these people and these people, but good luck.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
That sounds like he could be on a Criminal Minds episode.
Yeah.
Especially the sewing and the ransom. That's so Criminal Minds.
Yes. In 2012, police identified a possible victim known only as the Lewis County Jane Doe, who was a woman found in Morton, Washington on April 7, 2011 by somebody driving by. And in 2022, the victim was formally identified, but her identity was never released. So another one that we don't know if he actually killed or not. He says that he killed at least one person in New York State. And in 2012, authorities had not determined the identity, age, or sex of the victim, or when or where the murder may have occurred, but regarded the confession as credible. So they just added that one to the list.
Yeah.
That they know nothing about. He was also a suspect in a series of crimes in 2007 by the Boca Killer, whom this person was dubbed, that committed 3 known crimes associated with the town center at Boca Raton in Boca Raton, Florida. The first case was Randy Gorenberg, who was 52 and died on March 23rd, 2007. She was abducted from the Boca Town Center Mall parking lot, and within an hour she had been shot and her body was dumped in a nearby site. The second crime was a kidnapping of an unidentified woman and her toddler from the same shopping mall parking lot in August of 2007. The kidnapper wore a mask and sunglasses. but the victim caught glimpses of his face and described him as a tall, athletically built man with long hair that generally matched his description.
Dang. This guy's just everywhere.
The third case in Boca was the murder of Nancy Bociccio, 47 years old, and her 7-year-old daughter, Joey Hauser, who were found fatally shot in their vehicle at the Boca Town Center, December 12, 2007. Authorities believe that he also may have murdered a 48-year-old woman named Deborah Feldman after discovering that he had frequently searched for her missing persons case on his computer right before he was arrested. She was last seen in her apartment in Hackensack, New Jersey of April 2009. Her body has never been recovered, but FBI agents showed a picture of her to him while they were questioning him and said that he, quote, hesitated and waited and then said only, "I don't want to talk about her yet."
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Again, very Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
But it's suspected that he buried her near Tupper Lake, New York. He's also the suspect in the murder of James Tidwell Jr., who was an electrician who disappeared in Mount Enterprise, Texas on February 15th, 2012. This man was last seen 5:30 a.m. that day after he'd finished working a night shift during a bank robbery in Azle, Texas, which is right next door. On February 16, 2012, the culprit, believed to be Keyes, wore a white hard hat similar to Tidwell's, and Tidwell's hair also resembled the long dark hair of the robbery suspect. So when he was interrogated, Keyes claimed that this wig was in fact human hair. And when he was asked where he obtained the hair, Keyes said, "You don't have to buy real hair to get real hair."
Oh, you better. No way.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so he's wild. He's a wild, wild man.
He sounds like he's just everywhere and nowhere all at once.
All at the same time. So he was able to possibly kill all these people because he would fly into these big cities. He would rent cars with cash, only carried cash everywhere he went. And he was just undetectable because he had no paper trail. And he would just go, he was like Texas, Vermont, Washington, New York, just wherever he wanted.
Wherever he wanted.
And then he would just return to his normal life.
That's really it. I'm not telling you to be a serial killer. Do not listen to this. This is another one of those things.
This is not advice.
This is another one of those. I need my disclaimer paragraph again. But I think the best way to do it is basically what he did. Hide your kits years in advance because it is harder to track that you bought, all these things. And just drive around and kill random people.
Just because.
Yeah, well, it's like, why would you kill, it's like, well, if you kill someone, they always are able to track it back. Like, they knew them from this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
A random person, not so much. Maybe right place, right time, I guess. Wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time.
But for the killer, right place, right time. Like I said, he could just be like, that girl has blonde hair and red shoes on today. I'm going to go for that one. Tomorrow I want to find a man with the tattoo of a rose on his arm.
Crime of opportunity, baby.
Yeah.
Crime of opportunity.
That's so crazy.
So this gives us a little bit more insight, maybe, of why he was doing this. So after a search of his residence, they found tons of books about murder, fiction and nonfiction. He read lots of Dean Koontz, his favorite being the 1995 thriller Intensity. And he said that he closely identified with the serial killer antagonist in this book. He also closely studied Mindhunter inside the FBI's elite serial crime unit by FBI profiler John Douglas. When he was young, he started studying that.
Okay.
So he also undertook a meticulous study of other serial killers, and he idolized Ted Bundy and felt that they had many similarities.
I also really am interested in murder, but I don't think I'll be committing one anytime soon.
I also don't think I identify with any serial killer.
No, I'm not like, you know what? We
twins,
soulmates,
twin flame.
It's crazy work.
That's my guy. Oh my God, that's me.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I do that. I keep eating my mic.
Oh, that's insane. Oh my gosh.
So I will say that both Keyes and Bundy were very methodical in what they did, but he felt that they possessed their victims despite their difference in victim choice and MO. So like, he was like, oh, well, I have this methodology, but I just kill whoever I want instead of only killing women that, you know, want to date me or whatever. He even went as far as imitating Bundy's court escape while he was like in the courtroom, like in his little cubby hole or whatever he was in, escaped out a window, tried to escape out a window. He was immediately seized.
They're like, we learned from this one, buddy.
He was
know better.
Good try. But he also admitted to studying other serial killers, but actively hated media attention for his crimes, mostly because he didn't want his family to find out, but he also did not want to be labeled as a copycat for his admiration of Bundy. So like he was open about the fact that he idolized Bundy, but he wanted no media coverage. Like he was like, just let me murder in peace. Like it wasn't like he was a guy who wanted the attention.
What a weird.
Like some of them, you know?
Strange. Most of it is like an ego thing. It sounds like he just liked it
I think that makes it so much worse.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even want notoriety. I just want to kill somebody.
Yeah, just let me kill in peace. Let me murder in peace.
Okay, Dexter.
Right. During one of his interviews with the profilers, he called Dennis Rader a wimp for apologizing in court and showing remorse for his crimes.
Okay.
But expressed admiration for serial killers that hadn't been caught yet.
What a weirdo.
So he was like very open.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten a lot of information from this guy just from his interviews. And that's why the FBI is like, dude, this guy is something else.
He's alive still?
We'll get there.
Okay. You're like, yeah, he's free.
When asked about in an interview about an Alaska-based murder, Keyes replied enthusiastically stating, yeah, I know all about him. And continued on to say, I probably know every single serial killer that's ever been written about. It's kind of a hobby of mine.
Same.
You don't say.
Same but different.
You don't say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this guy is just on one.
Different.
He's on one. He's different. I don't think that I've ever heard of any other serial killers that were this like planned out, burying these things in advance.
That's the part that gets me the most, I feel like.
But also having no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
You know?
The kit thing is really, I'm like, that's so cool. Like, it's a cool idea.
It is cool. It's
a cool idea.
It is a special idea. You're setting yourself apart from all the others, but like, dude.
What the hell?
And I wonder when he like started, like, because he started burying them before he started killing people, it seems.
Yeah.
At like what point were you just like, okay, well, I'm going to bury all these. I'll give it some time. We'll give it some time to rest.
But what a crazy thought in the first place. Like, I want to kill somebody. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to bury all these kits first. And then I'll just go kill like in whatever pattern.
Whatever pattern I want.
But it's just crazy that you even have the foresight to be like, yeah, I know I want to kill people. I like it. But I'm going to go bury this first.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
I just want to be prepared.
It's extremely planned out. In no way at all.
It's almost genius.
It really is. It's very smart. It's crazy.
And I mean, he was able to evade for so long.
Because of it. He got caught?
Yeah, we're about to get into it.
Okay, I'm like, I want to know how this guy got caught because his plan seems foolproof to me.
You're gonna laugh when you hear how he got caught.
Oh God, is it gonna be like Ted Bundy who just got pulled over in his car because he has that was all in his trunk?
Pretty close.
Oh, great. On the back of his motorcycle.
So after he murdered Samantha Koenig, he demanded the ransom money. Police were able to track withdrawals from her account as he moved throughout the country.
Oh, be smarter than that.
So during that time, the police refused to release surveillance video of her abduction, which they had. And he was arrested by Texas Highway Patrol.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. He was arrested by, just because it's Texas Highway Patrol, I'm just going to say, he was arrested by Corporal Brian Henry and Texas Ranger Stephen Rayburn in the parking lot of a Cotton Patch Cafe in Lufkin, Texas.
Do you know what I ate like 2 nights ago?
Cotton Patch?
Hell yeah, I did.
So he was arrested at a Cotton Patch parking lot on the morning of March 13th, 2012. March 13th is my wedding anniversary.
What the heck?
Investigators had circulated a lookout bulletin for his car, which had been used at ATMs to withdraw money from Samantha's account using her ATM card.
Yeah.
So keys came to their attention when law enforcement officers were monitoring hotel parking lots for out-of-state rental cars because they had started to kind of figure things out.
Yeah.
Matching the bulletin. And officers stopped Keys after he drove slightly over the speed limit and searched his vehicle after they noticed that he had some cash in the car with bright ink from a dye pack.
Yeah.
From a bank robbery.
Oh, good.
And Samantha's ATM card and cell phone were also in the car. So he was just barely going over the speed limit.
Okay, but what a ding ding for traveling with her bank card.
Correct.
You're in 2013, dude. Like, you know.
Come on.
It's a thing now.
Come on. You've been doing this for so long.
But it's like the internet and cameras and
yes.
That's a thing now. And we knew that's a thing then.
Yes.
Yes. How can you be so smart and be so dumb?
Exactly. And they're always that way. These serial killers, they think they're so smart.
Oh, I think they get relaxed. I think they're like...
They get comfortable. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So he's caught, arrested in Texas. He was extradited back to Alaska, where he initially claimed that Samantha's ATM card and phone came into his possession after somebody tossed the items into his open car window.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He was charged with fraud related to the use of her bank account and then eventually confessed to her murder. He was indicted and his trial was scheduled to begin in March of 2013. So while he was in jail, he spoke to tons of state and federal investigators over the period of several months, which is where we get all this information from. At first, he cooperated to an extent, confessing to some of the crimes and stating a wish to be executed within a year, which I think is crazy when they do that, when they're like, yeah, just kill me. You caught me, just kill me. Yeah. Like, no, I think you should just rot in prison.
Sit there, there, buddy.
You don't get to just...
With your thoughts right on the wall.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He said that he wanted to avoid any publicity due to the negative attention his young daughter and family might face, but then completely stopped cooperating after his identity was discussed in the media. He's like, nope.
Done. A man who knows what he wants.
Yeah. And then on Wednesday, May 23rd, he attempted to escape during a routine hearing using wood shavings from a pencil to pick his cuffs. And then they tased him and rearrested him.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, no, sir.
We're not doing that.
No, sir. Somebody cooked here. No. So one of the FBI people, her name's Maureen Callahan, says that parts of his FBI file have not been released due to claimed national security concerns, because she notes that his military experience and documented interest in explosives, and speculates that he may have had known or suspected ties to some violent extremist groups.
Oh.
So his file is like...
Well, that makes sense, though, with also the churches he was raised in.
Right. Extreme. That was the word I was looking for earlier.
Oh. Found it.
Extremist. That's the one. While being held in jail at the Anchorage Correctional Complex, he somehow managed to conceal a razor blade in his cell. And it is unknown how he obtained the blade, because he was under security restrictions and was only allowed to have an electric razor under supervision, which is crazy. Just, why do they need to shave? They don't. Leave him alone. Let him rot. Anyway, he died by suicide on December 2nd, 2012 by cutting his wrists.
Man, he knew what he wanted.
And then attempted to hang himself.
He said, we are not going to live through this.
No, but he cut his wrist and then tried to hang himself, but he ultimately died from bleeding out. A suicide note was found under his body, consisted to an ode of murder, but offered no clear clues about other possible victims.
Great.
And in 2020, the FBI released some drawings that were underneath his bed after he killed himself. Found some drawings of 11 skulls and 1 pentagram, which had been drawn in blood. One of the drawings included the phrase, "We are one," written at the bottom, and the FBI believes that the number of skulls correlates with the total number of his victims.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to me.
Yeah.
He really just led them on a wild goose chase. Because honestly,
Really?
one of the ones you said, the daughter and mom who got shot in the head in Boca Raton in Florida, to me, that doesn't match him. Because like he said, he doesn't want to use guns.
Yeah.
So I feel like some of these don't even belong to him. So then there's these ones that probably do belong to him. And he seems like he's probably pretty good at hiding his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So there was
wild.
some like the ones in the beginning, like that I was kind of talking about, where he was like, oh, well, there's maybe 2 victims here. There might be one here, maybe one here.
Yeah.
But like those people were never identified.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What an ass. It's so coward to like do all of this and then just bye though. I'm gonna kill myself first. Like I don't want you to.
Yeah, I don't want you to punish me for what I did.
Yeah. And I don't want people to ask me questions or look at me or talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And he had told, like, whenever he was initially cooperating with, like, being very open while being interrogated by the FBI, telling them that he had, you know, studied all these other serial killers and were like, oh, well, they were sloppy or they were arrogant or this or that. And like,
yeah,
he was like, I'm 2 different people. Like, I'm a normal working man who owns a business, and I'm also this murderer who is better than everybody else.
okay.
So I just, I don't know. I just think it's weird.
The human brain freaks me out.
Mm-hmm. And he says the reason that like he didn't name some of these victims was because he didn't want his mom to know what he did.
Honey.
And he thought that he was like high and mighty because he could do this and get away with it.
Your mom's gonna know.
Your mom knows. Newsflash. Literally.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not. They didn't have TV and all that. So maybe she didn't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. Insane. But what a way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine all the ones that are like in like Poland, like straight up just somewhere else entirely, like not in America.
Yeah, because he was in Egypt and he was in Israel and all these things.
All of that.
I mean, the FBI is like, oh, there's more. Like there's more. Yeah. And they have found during, you know, his arrest and all this stuff, they found over a dozen of his kill kits across the country. Like they were like found some still buried and unused, but there's also some that haven't been found.
I really wish that they had not leaked his name and that we could know more.
Yeah.
Why y'all gotta ruin it?
Why you gotta ruin it for everybody?
He warned you.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, y'all probably could have gotten so much more out of him if you didn't
listen
do that.
to his request for a second. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't have many words. That's very interesting. I'm like, this guy is very smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, to me, that's very smart. I don't know.
It is smart. He literally studied all these serial killers and did everything the opposite way.
Yeah.
Everything. And got away with it for a while. Like if you think about it, all these other, besides Richard Ramirez, all these other people had patterns that eventually led to their capture, you know?
I mean, he had a pattern like with his kits, but that's not a pattern that's going to get you caught.
Right.
But it is a pattern still, like how he had it prepared and ready. I mean, not everything in the kit, like you said, is a pattern, but
yeah,
his pattern was the kits.
The kits.
And going to where the kit was. But you can't really track.
He had no connections to any of these people, any of these places. Like he just, absolutely no mercy here. Just F it. We're doing it.
That's wild. I don't have many thoughts because I'm like, what in the world? It's incredibly smart.
Mm-hmm. There's a 48 Hours episode on
I was
him.
wondering how you found him.
You should probably watch it. Yeah. He's got lots of stuff, but he's got an Oxygen true crime special and he's got 48 Hours. That would be like the easiest probably to find.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture of him real quick.
It's not horrible looking.
Yeah, it just looks like a normal dude.
Kind of looks like Sid the Sloth, but...
A little bit. Yeah, he looks a little slothy.
But he really doesn't look like...
No.
He doesn't look scary.
You wouldn't see that guy in a room of people and be like, oh, he looks creepy.
Yeah, I might be like, oh, he's kind of handsome. And like, continue on. He looks clean.
Yeah, he looks normal. Yeah.
How old was he when he ended his life?
34.
Damn. He did all of that by 34.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Mm-hmm. And the span of his crimes, in case it got lost,
like
1996 was the first, and then from 2001 to 2012. So a while.
Yeah, like 13, 14, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Longer than that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is like at a loss for words because I'm like, what in the heck? Like, how do you... I just don't imagine. I don't know. I don't know how your brain gets into a place where you're like, oh, I want to watch that person die.
Yeah, I want to strangle him to death and see what it looks like.
Oh, his quote, you don't have to buy a wig with real hair to get real hair.
You don't have to buy real hair to get real hair.
Okay, sir.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
You're not wrong, but what the fuck? Like,
so yeah, Isreal Keys, interesting guy. Very interesting guy.
I'd say so.
There was, you used to be able to find some of his like interrogation on SoundCloud.
Oh.
They've been removed, but I'm sure you could maybe find them on Reddit or something like that.
What's scary to me is that there's people who are like living like that near us just at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as like the predators, basically. How you can look, at least you can look them up.
Yeah.
But not all of them realistically. But still, it's like, they're just so creepy to think that people live that close to us in everyday life and you don't know.
You just don't know.
Like walking through the store,
Studying
your
serial
neighbor,
killers.
like you don't know.
Yeah. You could just pass a guy like that in the grocery store and then little do you know, he's got a kill kit buried in your fucking backyard.
Yeah, great.
He follows you home and he's like, oh, I have a kill kit around here.
I'll be very thankful, very, very thankful that I'm raised by the man that I was raised by and the fact that I am extremely observant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I'm very thankful for that. Like the other day I was walking out of Target and I was in Midland. I went and saw Aaron and 2 different men walked out at the same time as me and neither of them had a bag.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize they were walking behind me until I hit like a certain point in the driveway and I could hear like the change of like feet behind me basically. And I turned around and looked both of them in the face separately. I said,
I see you.
And I looked at that one and they both kind of whoop and like they kind of walked behind me and then they separated. And instead of me going like just behind my car to get into it, I walked around the front of my car so I could physically turn my body to face them and not let them know exactly which vehicle was mine, you know? Like I could have kept walking.
Been any of them? Yeah.
But I literally turned around to look directly at both of them again and they both like
they're like, what the hell?
This girl's like really...
They're probably like, this girl's about to murder me.
Yeah, this girl's really doing it. But I'm like, I will look at you. It doesn't always make a difference, you know, right? Like if they want to do you harm.
But it could.
But like, I will look at you.
To let you know.
I pay attention. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. We were at the movies a couple weeks ago. I don't remember. I've gone to the movies every week for the last month. There's been a lot of good stuff out.
I don't go to the movies. The movies scare me.
So we were at the movies and we always sit like on the aisle, like on the last seats on the aisle. And there was like, you know how there's like that slant where like the hallway is where you walk in. There was, I don't know. I didn't like, at first I didn't think it was a worker. And I thought it was just like a random person because they like came in and then they like went out and then I could just see the head just like standing like right there at that corner. And there was like a lot of movement going on and they were just like staying there. And I could not keep my eyes off of it because I was like, what the hell are you doing over there, sir? What are you doing over there? What are you doing? Yeah. Because there was like 2 of them and they were like congregating right there. And then like he came back out and I was like, oh, it's a worker. But then I still was uncomfortable because I was like, why are you standing there?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Go do something.
Go work.
Yeah. Work. Why are you standing there? It was a good movie. So maybe he was just watching the movie. But I would, for a moment, for like a minute or 2, because they were there for a while. I was just like watching.
No, I did that in high school. I went and saw Zootopia when it came out just for like, just to go to the movies, just have something to do. And I was with somebody and there was only 2 other people in the movie theater and it was like full grown men. And one had sat and it was the movie wasn't as popular anymore. So they'd moved it to where it was only the single entrance, you know, the smaller theater. One was in the very top corner and then one was in the very corner, like where you walk in. And I was like, you know, like kind of went and sat just like in the middle at the back and like was like watching the movie, but I was watching both of them. Like, why are you, Zootopia is the cartoon, you know, with the sloth and the bunny rabbit cop.
Yeah.
Like,
why are you
here?
Yeah.
And I finally got to the point where I was so uncomfortable, especially with where they were sitting, like, cause I felt trapped that I was like, I don't care to see this movie. Like, I just wanted to have something fun to do. And I left And there was like 18-wheelers in the parking lot. I was like, oh, there's probably just like truck drivers having a break. But I was like, y'all are going to kill me.
Oh my God. That's so weird.
The movie theaters has always scared me, and Aaron always wants to go. Like, I'm pretty sure the last time he went to the movies, he went with my brother and Landon. Like they'll go together. I'm like, no, I have no interest in going.
I love the movies.
I hate them. I hate it. One, it's too loud for me. I don't like noise. So it's too loud and I can't get comfortable because all I'm worried about is being shot up at the movie theater.
Who's in there? Yeah, you can't see anybody. You can't see anything.
I just don't like it. Yeah. And anytime someone new comes in, I'm like I'm constantly looking. I'm not comfortable.
I do that too.
Because like all the ones, whenever they did the one in, where was it? Colorado? The Batman
Was
premiere?
it Colorado?
I think it was Colorado, the Batman premiere movie.
Maybe.
The way that one worked is they locked the doors that go outside, the exit doors, to where people couldn't even run out of the theater. No.
That's not okay.
No, I've asked Aaron before. I said, what would you do? And he's like, I would literally pick up someone else's body. This sounds horrible. He's like, but I would run at them with someone else's body who's already been harmed. And I was like, well, I guess at least you do something. He's like, I will literally eat someone's face. Like, I will.
He's like, I'm good. We're good.
He's like, it's not by choice, but like, I will. And Aaron, he's a big guy. I wouldn't really want to jack with him. But I was asking him the same thing. We went to that cabin in the woods this last week, and I was like, what would you do if you looked inside right now and just like saw like the strangers inside our cabin? Because we were in a pool in the backyard.
Yeah.
Pitch black out there with forest all around us. And I was like, what would you do? And he was like, I don't
fight for my life. I don't know.
He was like, I don't know. We're already outside. They're inside. And I was like, yeah, but all of our things are in there. And he was like, okay.
Not important.
Yeah. He was like, I'd have you like run to the house up there, because there's a house you pass, and it was a state trooper's house.
Oh, perfect.
But he was like, I'd have you run up there, but they were out of town. Oh. And he was like, but I just make you do that. And I was like, I guess.
Hey, a plan's a plan.
And then I was like, what would you do if someone came out of the woods? Right. I asked him what he would do if Bigfoot came out of the woods. And he was like, we're going to die. So he was like, nothing. He had a beer bottle by him, and he was like, I mean, I could break it and see what happens. He was like, why are you asking me this stuff? But we didn't have phone service for like 48 hours. So I was running out of shit to talk about.
You're like, let's see.
Yeah. But I was looking outside, and I was like in the pool, and I'd look over into the trees, and I'd be like, do you see that? He's like, no. And I'm like, did you hear that? And he's like, no, just shut up. Like, relax.
You're like, I literally have never relaxed a day in my life.
No, I'm always on guard.
That's funny.
Nah, but a part of it, I was just jacking with him, because he was like,
he's like, shut up. Would you love me if I was a worm?
Yeah, genuinely. No, I don't know. But yeah, the movie theaters creep me out. It's just creepy, because you just don't know who you're around.
You just don't know who you're around. But yeah, I liked that story, and I was like looking into it and trying to find something, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And then the more I read, and I was like, oh, well, he's been in Azle. He robbed a bank in Azle.
Perfect.
He was arrested in Lufkin. Like, perfect.
Had a cotton patch.
Yeah.
I love cotton patch.
Anything that's like, oh, Texas was involved?
We're in. I, at Cotton Patch the other day, the food came out kind of, and Aaron was like, oh, and I was like, we're at Cotton Patch.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you expect?
Yeah, low expectations.
Yeah, like, what do you want? Which I got a steak, and it was actually good. I just got a filet because it's super cheap to get a filet there. It's probably horse mystery meat.
Oh, for sure.
But it was delicious. It was great. They cooked it very well, like exactly what I wanted.
They know how to cook that mystery meat.
And their green beans are very good.
I haven't had Cotton Patch in...
It's Aaron's favorite.
Dude.
They have jumbo fried mushrooms, and he loves fried mushrooms. And then they have like the biggest fried chicken you can get, and he loves fried chicken, and they make it massive, and it's not just all breading. Like, it's actually a chicken fried chicken. Yeah. Most places you go, it's just like a shit ton of breading.
Good old home cooking.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Most of the time.
Yeah, I haven't been in a long time.
I have to be in the mood. They have a very good sponsor us. Cotton Patch.
Yeah, Cotton Patch.
They have a very good chipotle chicken. It's a chicken breast with like chipotle like marinade on it on a bed of rice. It's pretty healthy, and it's pretty good. I'm like, it's like as healthy as you're gonna get at Cotton Patch, and that's what I'll get. And it's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time.
But I like chipotle-y.
Maybe that was Isreal Key's favorite restaurant.
Yeah, maybe he was eating a fried chicken.
Yeah. With Samantha's ransom money.
Yeah. With her card.
Last thing, that murder was very different from the rest of them. Like, he did all kinds of shit with that.
Yeah.
Like, sewing her eyes open, demanding ransom money, dismembering her body.
That was like desperate to me. He was getting desperate if he's like ransom moneying, like he's ran out of banks to rob.
Right. And that was the one that he got caught on, basically.
Yeah.
So
it's where you...
it's like he devolved.
It's where you mess up.
Yeah. He spiraled a little bit, maybe.
He's like, I like this shit.
Yeah.
Let's try this one. Didn't work out.
No.
That's wild.
Bold
Ding,
move,
ding.
Cotton.
What a ding ding.
What a ding ding.
But okay, is that it?
That's it. That's all I got. I hope you guys liked it.
That was very interesting.
It's a good
I didn't know
one.
what was gonna. I like the murder kits. That sounds crazy, but I like the idea.
Yeah, and the idea that there may still be buried out there somewhere.
It reminds me of geocaching.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if you find a murder kit in your backyard, you know who it belongs to. So just go dig up every square inch of your backyard.
Please.
You know how many people doing construction probably do dig something up like that, and they're like, yeah, they have no idea who this guy is, right? So they're like, that's weird. Trash.
Yeah. Creepy.
Yeah. What the fuck? But yeah. So if you have any stories, recommendations, anything you want to share, be part of, send us some of all of that. I don't know what I'm saying right now. My brain's gone. Send it to us at sistersofthestrange@gmail.com. It'll be somewhere around our feetsies. And then go like, follow, subscribe, do all the good things on our social medias.
All the things. Give us the love.
Yeah, we need it.
We got good stuff coming in the next few months.
It's about to be spooky time. I've already been Halloween shopping. Yeah, I was at TJ Maxx.
I don't know if y'all can see that. We got a little alien.
A little alien. He's holding a pumpkin and a bat. But I was at TJ Maxx and I was like, oh, I just can't help it. And I bought like a blanket and I think I bought a couple other things. And the girl was like, the girl checking me out beside me, like she was checking someone else out. And I was like, I just love Halloween. I'm already shopping. And she was like, in July? She said, yeah. She said, as you should. And I said, girl, yes.
Yes, queen. Yes.
You are right. But yeah, anything you want to, I don't know. My brain's gone. See you next week.
Also, we have a Discord.
Oh, yes.
We have a Discord now. We haven't used it.
I edited it.
Oh.
I switched stuff around.
Good.
But yes.
Yeah, Alyssa started it for us. She was like, maybe you guys can start a Discord. So if you guys have Discord, you can talk to us on there.
Yeah, there's I don't even remember what I did. I kind of edited it a little bit just to make it a little less and a little easier. So one of them is Welcome Strangers, and it's just kind of our like a little bit of the rules. Hello. And then there's another one. It's podcast updates, which is where we can post like for this episode, we can say like, hey, this episode's coming out, or this last week we were late. So we could have said, hey, we're going to be late this week, you know? So there's a podcast updates area. There is Sister Talk, which is pull up a chair and join us by the flickering candlelight. So it's just somewhere you can talk to us. So Sister Talk is where you can message into that. And then me and Shae will both be able to talk to you back in that. So I have that there. And then Strange Memes, where if you want to share like funny memes, funny videos, funny TikToks, like all the things where, you know, memes, funny memes, like we post them on our stories a lot. So I put that there.
Literally anything funny, morbid, scary, creepy, things that you may not be able to send to your normal people.
Yeah, your normal friends. Your normal friends.
You can send it to us.
Yeah. And then I have listener theories. So like on this episode, if you had a theory on maybe something, so you can go in and share theories. And then I have your strange stories where you can go in and put your own stories in there if you'd like. So then just remember that other people can read those and have access to them. And then podcast suggestions. So everyone can get in and make suggestions. So I just kind of cleared it up a little bit and built on it as well.
I like that. That's good stuff.
So there's a place for us to talk. There's a place for you to share silly, spooky stuff for community. Like all the listeners can go in and have a community space. Any of your theories have a space. Any of your stories you want to share and suggestions.
Yeah. So find us on Discord if you have one, Sisters of the Strange.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
I need to add it to our
link tree.
I didn't put it into, link tree, LinkedIn. I didn't put it in anything until you wanted to mention it. So.
I forgot to. So I just now remembered.
Yeah. I went in and put like descriptions under everything to let people know where you're at and what you can do in it. So.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. So go follow us on Discord. Be there, be square. You don't want to be square.
You don't want to be square.
You want to be round.
Want to be big and round.
I've never understood that saying.
I don't either. I don't know. I think that's it. Anyway.
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.